श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। So let's chant from number 8. ज्ञान विज्ञान तृप्तात्मा
ज्ञान विज्ञान तृप्तात्मा
कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रियः
कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रियः
युक्त इत्युच्यते योगी
युक्त इत्युच्यते योगी
समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः
समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः
सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेष्य बन्धुषु
सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेष्य बन्धुषु
साधुष्वपि च पापेषु
साधुष्वपि च पापेषु
समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते
समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते
योगी युञ्जीत सततम्
योगी युञ्जीत सततम्
आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः
आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः
एकाकी यतचित्तात्मा
एकाकी यतचित्तात्मा
निराशीरपरिग्रहः
निराशीरपरिग्रहः
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः
नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं
नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं
चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
शैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
Tatraikagram manah kritva.
Tatraikagram manam krutva.
Manah kritva.
Manah krutva.
There is no word called manam in Sanskrit. Manaha itself is dvivachanam. Tatraikagram manah kritva.
Tatraikagram manah krutva.
Yata chittendriya kriyaha.
Yeta chittendriya kriyaha.
Upavishyasane yunjyat.
Upavishyasane yunjat.
Yogamatma vishuddhaye.
Yogamatma vishuddhaye.
Samam kaya shiro grivam.
Samam kaya shiro grivam.
Dharayan nachalam sthiraha.
Dharayam nachalam stiraha.
Samprekshya nasikagram swam.
Samprekshya nasikagram swam.
Dishascha
Dishascha navalokayan.
So from shloka number 10 onwards, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling us what is to be done, the preparatory steps for dhyana. So they are called antaranga sadhanani. And so Shuchau Deshe Pratishtapya. What place you must choose and what time you must choose. Time he did not say. Swami Paramarthanandaji reminds us that we should add time. He did not say, but choose a time that's appropriate. Choose a time when there is no disturbance. Choose a time when you can do it at the same time every day. So all these things must be understood. And then asanam, sthiram asanam atmanaha, and what type of seat you must have, not vichritam, etc. He gives so much. And then position of the body, posture also. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan nachalam sthiraha. All that we saw last time. Sampreksha nasikagram swam. So nasikagram swam. Some people interpret it slightly differently, which is if you close your eyes completely, then the tendency can be to go to sleep. Sleep can, the nidra can come. That chance is there, especially for those who are meditating for a long time. They may be concerned about that, and so that closing the eyes completely can create sleep. And of course, you should keep your eyes completely open because Indriya Nigraha is there. And so our sense organs are the window to the world. And so all data comes through the sense organs, and eyes are the biggest, most powerful sensor. Ears, nose, etc. At least, not all the time. When you're sitting in the room, maybe there is no odor to smell. And but of course, somebody's some noise is coming from the kitchen. Then something is cooking, and then the nose picks up the smell of masala dosa. Then you say, breakfast today is masala dosa. And so all these ideas will come. That's why better close the door also, so no smell also comes. And so otherwise, every time there is a distraction. And so eyes being the biggest source of distraction, eyes are to be closed, can't be kept open. Therefore, it say keep your eyes almost closed, not completely closed. And how almost closed? Well, as though you can see the tip of the nose. Okay, slightly open. Okay, that is one interpretation, which also works. If you can do that, then that's an accepted interpretation of Krishna's advice. Eva. So as Shankara says, Eva. Shankara says, Eva. As though you're looking at the tip of the nose. And this is another interpretation given by Swami Paramarthananda. Okay. Then this is Anavalokayan. So that also I thought we saw, but we'll see it again. So again here, not looking at any other direction. Your eyes may have the tendency to move around, and initially when you're sitting, when thoughts are not there, then the mind can get confused and beginning to look for things to get a hold of. And so this is Anavalokayan. Like that tiger cub I told you, tiger and tiger cub also, and cub is running after something and running, and the deer simply stands. And the cub is confused. The cub can easily pounce on the deer and finish it off. But the cub is confused because he doesn't know what to do with a prey that is stationary. It has not seen a stationary prey before. Okay, prey has always been running, and so I have to catch the prey, running prey. And that's how, and suddenly the prey sits down and doesn't know what to, confused. So this confusion, if it is there, and your eyes are trying to figure out which one to hold, what to see, and then so nothing to see, just relax. And so this is Anavalokayan. Is that? Okay. So next shloka also we will continue along with this and then translate it later. So Prashantatma Vigatabhihi Brahmachari Vrate Stitaha. I think we did not chant that. So let us do that. So Anirudh. Sorry, I think yeah. Prashantatma Vigatabhihi
Prashantatma Vigatabhihi
Brahmachari Vrate Stitaha
Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha
Manas Samyamya Machittaha
Mana Samyamya Machittaha
Yukta Asita Matparaha
Yukta Asita Matparaha
Prashantatma Vigatabhihi
Prashantatma Vigatabhihi
Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha
Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha
Manas Samyamya Machittaha
Mana Samyamya Machittaha
Yukta Asita Matparaha.
Yukta Asita Matparaha. Guruji, in the previous shloka, we had covered Samam Kaya Shirogrivam. After that, Dharya, I mean, the rest of the shloka, we didn't really go over in details.
Okay, so yeah, we can go over that. So the Achalam Sthiraha. So body is straight, trunk and head and neck are straight. And then I think I mentioned it. And Achalam. Achalam means you can't be tilting the body and moving the body. No, I mentioned this, no? We like to rock. So I think I remember mentioning it, unless I mentioned it to somebody else, but that chance was very limited. So all this nice rocking thing, you see I saw this thing, a video the couple of days ago. There is a elephant that is being tied, and it's been in a zoo for the last 25 years. If you look at all elephants, and it's always rocking. So the rajas is there. You think the elephant is big and stationary, it loves to stand, etc. No, but it keeps on going back and coming to the front, going back and coming to the front. Have you seen that? Elephants always do that. They always do that. So some stability it gives, etc. But even for us also. So this the tendency to rock, cheshta will constantly be there. and then crackle the knuckles. It's always, when you're sitting, we can't sit quietly. We have to constantly keep doing something or the other. So that is, so here achalam, Krishna has to tell us all that. Achalam, don't move. Stiraha, base also. So I'm not going to rock, but then I keep on fidgeting my legs. So don't fidget your legs. And sampreksha nasika gram swam. This also I think I mentioned, Anirudhji. I can repeat. So this is looking at the tip of the nose, as it were. And then we studied Shankara's Bhashyam also here. And where Shankara says, what does he say? Iti iva shabdaha luptaha drashtabhyaha. So you should insert the word iva, okay? Iti iva. So that means sampreksha nasikagram swam iti iva, like that. He's saying iti iva means as though looking at the tip of the nose, and swam, tip of your own nose. Don't have a partner and then say we both are doing and all that. Any number of people can do meditation, no problem with that, but just stick to yourself, because looking at other person's nose means your eyes have to be open. So we saw that, I think. And then dishascha anavalokai, that also we saw. Don't look around, and even when the eyes closed, the eyes can move around like this. So then some fear can be there, etc. All that, no need. Once you've taken care of the basics, then that also will go away. Then here, prashantatma. So immediately you should recall certain words you've read. So 6, 7. Look up 6, 7. So jitatmanah prashantasya. We saw that, I think, right? Jitatmanah prashantasya paramatma samahitah shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tatha manapamanayoh. So same, Krishna brings that idea again here, prashanta atma. And here atma does not mean Sachidananda Atma, Brahma. It means antakaranam, manas. So one whose mind is tranquil, that person, prashanta atma. And okay, then vigata bhihi. So prashanta atma, of course, mind is tranquil, relative tranquility, because the person who is described here is not a jnani, and is a person who is a mumukshu, who desires moksha, who desires jnanam, and a person who has been a karma yogi for a certain length of time, and therefore prashantatma. Otherwise, prashantatma is difficult. And so, to a large extent, ragadveshas may be there, but they are all neutralized, and prasada buddhi is there in full measure, and therefore that person is a prashantatma. Vigata bhihi. Vigataha bhayaha yasyasaha vigata bhihi means one from whom fear has gone away. Fear has gone. And really speaking, fear can never go away, because the fear of death is always there. And the only thing that can remove the fear, what is the cause of fear? Dvaitathi bhayam bhavati. Duality is the cause of fear. Somebody says in Vedanta class, what is the cause of fear? We have to go back. So dvaitadhi bhayam bhavati. I am afraid of dash. The dash has to be something other than you. And so that means duality must be there for me to have that fear. And so, and finally only jnanam, advaita jnanam can remove the fear completely, eliminate it completely. And so that fear is always going to be there. So here, so the meditator, the ahankara, the identity. There is an ahankara which is a thought of who I am. I am sitting, I am meditating, I am so and so. All this is there. And then, and in meditation, even the thought can disappear. Even that thought can disappear. And that is samadhi. Samadhi means elimination of thoughts, disappearance of all thoughts. Okay. And that thought can be there. And so physically also the thought can go away. And then and cognitively means my knowledge, the ahankara is sublated. Ahankara is I am not ahankara. Okay, that much we know now. And so therefore there is the potential fear that I am going to get destroyed. This feeling can be there for somebody. It need not be there, but it can be there. So I am going to mean that identity, that ahankara is going to be removed. And so what will happen to me? Okay. So sometimes that fear can be there, and it does, that feeling will happen when the ahankara, when the thought goes away. Then there can be, the body can react to that. Body can react to that, because other than in deep sleep, ahankara is always there. And so this fear, Swamiji says that fear comes from avichara only, comes from not inquiring, not inquiring. And therefore, the person who is studying the Shastram, who is doing Shravanam, who is doing Mananam, okay, that person is a Vigata Bihi, here, Vigata Bihi. And then another interpretation of Vigata Bihi is, suppose I go into Samadhi, because Samadhi is also there. People do go to Samadhi, and it's a common thing in our culture. And so what happens? What will happen if I go to Samadhi? And will I come back? And I have a lot of duties here. Who is going to sweep the floor? Who is going to do the carpet? Who is going to do the dishes? All these issues are coming, and it's all waiting. Gita class is there, but I know what happens. As soon as the Gita class is over, we're all going to, don't think we're all going to just sit here and just, what a nice class it was. And let's sit around and keep thinking, mulling over the class. We don't have time to do all that. We're going to just turn off and then rush somewhere to some other room. Okay. So much work is there. And so if I go to Samadhi, what will happen? And who is going to take care of this household? All those questions will be there. And so this is very, very interesting. In all books, if you see, they will say the ego is destroyed. This is so this ahankara nasha is a very popular thing in our in the text, English translations, etc. You find that. And even sometimes, Ramana Maharshi will say ahankara nasha, etc. So ahaminasha bhi, he says this. So that aham vritti gets destroyed. So nasha here is not literal destruction. It is the destruction. It is the sublation. It is the understanding that ahankara is I, Atma, but Atma is not ahankara. Correct? Wave is water, but water is not wave. Okay? That understanding is essentially a nasha, because what I thought was absolutely real is no longer absolutely real. There is something else that is more real than what I was thinking. Correct? That is the destruction. That is the removal of ajnana. That is the result of the removal of the ignorance of who I am. And so that whenever I associate with myself, so now having studied Vedanta, ahankara is a thought, and all thoughts, I associate myself with all the thoughts. I associate myself with the body, no doubt. And so body is sick, I am sick. Body is good, I am also good. That is healthy, I am healthy. Okay, this is my understanding. And now I realized whether the body is sick or healthy, I am free. That is the vision here. I am free. I am not bound by the body. I am not at all bound by the quality of the body, the nature of the body. The body is there to help me. and it is a karanam, it is an object, it is anityam. And so, who am I? I am Nitya Atma. This idea is there. And so sometimes Swamiji says, we oscillate. After studying Vedanta, there is an oscillation because sometimes I am the body. Then I say, no, I'm not the body. I have to keep telling myself. And so, no, this is not as big a deal as it was before. And so I have to keep telling myself this one. And so that identification is there. So that freedom from identification, it happens at least in meditation. And so that person is called a Vigata Bhihi, one who is relatively free from the identification of the self with the body, mind, and senses. Vigata Bhihi. Shankara doesn't say much at all. He just says Vigata Bhayaha. That is the only word he uses. And Bhaya. Bhi is a dhatu from which you get Bhaya also. It's a Bhaya Pratipadikam he uses instead of Bhi. Okay. Then Prashantatma Vigata Bhihi Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha. Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha. Sthitaha, one who remains in. One who remains in what? Brahmachari Vrate. Vratam means a commitment, a vow, a commitment. I am going to study the Shastra. At least I'm going to spend 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a week, like that. That is a commitment. I'm going to do certain things, a vratam, a discipline. I'm going to follow a discipline. I'm going to do japa. Every day for 10 minutes, I'm going to do japa. I got a japa mala, and so I'm going to use the mala, and then I'm going to keep chanting for 10 minutes. So these are all called vratams. So brahmachari vrate sthitaha. Now, so this brahmachari means it can mean a lot of things. So 4 ashramas are there. So brahmachari grahastha. Brahmachari means unmarried person. So unmarried person. This person described by Krishna need not be unmarried, and so still uses the word brahmachari vrate. So that means a person who doesn't have any relationships with other people, physical relationship. That is one meaning. But look at what Shankara says. Shankara says, Guru Shushrusha, Bhikshanna Bhuktyadi, Bhikshanna Bhuktyadi, Tasmin Sthitaha Tad Anushtata. Like that he says. Okay. So let's look at that. Okay. He says 2 words. Guru Shushrusha. He says that. Guru Shushrusha. Guru Shushrusha. Shushrusha means common meaning of the word Shushrusha is Seva to the Guru. That is the meaning. Seva to the Guru. Literal meaning of Shushrusha, the etymological meaning is Shrotum Ichha. Desire to study the Shastra. Shravanam Kartum Ichha is called Shushrusha. Okay. So Guru Shushrusha. So Guru Samipe Stitva, having gone to the ashram and being close to the Guru. And those days being close to the Guru is the only way to study. And so Guru Shushrusha means, literal meaning is to study. And then the Rudi Artha, the popular meaning of Shushrusha is to do seva to the Guru. Okay, Guru Shushrusha. Then what? Bhikshanna Bhuktyadi. Bhikshanna Bhuktyadi. Consuming food that is got from Bhiksha. So, Idricha Lava Santushtaha. Whatever is given to you, you consume. Whatever you get, you consume without complaining. Not complaining. What happened? Roti is all bit dry today. You overcooked the roti. You have done this. Today food is not good. This salt is too less. So many things are there with food, and don't get carried away by that. So we practice in Karma Yoga. We practice it consciously. Consciously, try this. So food is served on the plate, and then there is no salt. Okay, forgotten. What will you do? Typical reaction is there's no salt. Get me some salt. Tell yourself, Prasada. Hey, Krishna is testing me. He's testing me. I'm studying Bhagavad Gita. He says, how much of this Ragadvesha Viyukta is to Vishyan Indriya and all this we've been chanting day after day after day. And now he's decided to test me. And so my raga for the right amount of salt, not for salt. Nobody has a raga for salt. The right amount of salt. And little more than that, finished. Salt is an enemy. Little less than that, then the food doesn't enter the mouth. Okay, that is a problem. So try. Less salt. Then, my God, this is a prasada. Can I keep my mouth shut? Okay. So how long? How many morsels I can have without salt in my kadi, kada, or sambar or whatever? And so this is a good test. We have to test ourselves because this is an opportunity. We have to look. We are not ordinary people. We have to, we have the capacity to do these things. And then when you do that, automatically the reaction will just go die down, and then you'll start smiling at yourself. Are baap re baap. This is what it is. And we don't have to suffer outside the house. Inside the house itself, we convert all these things, use all these opportunities. And so bhikshanna bhuktyadi tasmin stitaha tadanusthata. This is his definition, Shankara's definition for this brahmachari vrate stitaha. Okay, so that means a person who is essentially committed to the Shastra. So those days, person is studying means the person is already in the ashram. And so such a person is described here as a brahmachari, which is correct. Even otherwise, even ashrama wise, if you take the person is like a brahmachari, only committed to studying. Okay, then what? Manas samyamya matchittaha yukta asita matparaha. Okay, samyamanam. So yama niyama, so all those words are here. So manaha samyamya. Okay, so manaha samyam. Manaha is dvitiya vibhakti, second case, ekavachana. Okay, napumsakalingam. Manas, sakaranta napumsakalingam. Okay, manas samyamya. Okay, so applying the mind to what he has not said yet. And Machittaha is going to say that. Samyamya, focusing the mind on Matchittaha is going to say that. Okay, Matchittaha, let's look at that. Chit, Mat. So, Mat means Asmat, me. Asmat, me. Mat. So, Chittaha means again mind here, mind antakaranam. So Shankara will say, Mayi Parameshware Chittam Yasya. Like that he is going to say. So the one whose mind is on Parameshwara, is focused on Parameshwara. That is a literal, that is a definition Shankara gives for Machittaha. Okay. Now, we have to understand what this is. So here, this when Krishna says Machittaha, Krishna can mean what? One who meditates on me, Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the one who has lifted Govardhan Parvat, Govardhana Giri, the one who sang beautiful songs just on flute, without any orchestra, without any accompaniment, without any vocals. And I am that kind of a person, okay, playing just flute solo, and then managed to mesmerize so many people. That Krishna, okay, one who meditates on that Krishna. That is one meaning. But then Parameshware, when the minute Shankara uses the word Parameshwara, it doesn't mean Avatara Purushaha Krishna. It means Jagatkaranam Parameshwara. That Parameshwara, who is the Jagat Shrishtikarta, who is the Sthitikarta, who is the Layakarta, that Parameshwara. Okay. And that Jagat Karanam, which is independent of Avatara. Okay. Independent of the Avatara. Avatara is we did not have to bring here. In fact, whenever Krishna uses the word Mayi, mom, etc., that Mam refers to me and that me refers to Parameshwara. It does not refer to this Krishna who was the ambassador of the Pandava, not that Krishna. And so we have to keep that in mind whenever in the shlokas this Mam, me, etc. comes. Okay. So you have two interpretations, two meanings can be there. One is this Jagat Karanam Parameshwara, the cause of the world Parameshwara, or the second meaning of that is the Atma Swarupa. So the essential nature of the Jiva and Paramatma, and that which is Atma Paramatma, that Swarupa. Swarupa. Okay. So Atma Swarupa is also called Parameshwara. And so these two possibilities are there. Shankara is reminding us. Okay. We have to see which one of these two. Now, so Jagat Karanam Ishvara, if you take, then you're giving an attribute to Ishvara. Ishvara is the cause of this world. Ishvara who has done, who is sustaining this world. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, like this, we are bringing Saguna Brahma. So Brahma with attributes is called Saguna Brahma. And so Saguna Brahma, Manasa Vyaparaha is one meaning of this Mai Machittaha. Okay, Saguna Brahma, Manasa Vyaparaha. So Manaha Samyamya Machittaha. Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha. We've seen this definition before. So Saguna Brahma means Ishvara. Hey, Devata. All my Devatas are Saguna Brahma. Okay. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, of course, Saguna Brahma. So all Devis are Saguna Brahma. My Guru is Saguna Brahma. Rama, Krishna, everybody is Saguna Brahma. Devi is Saguna Brahma. So therefore, Saguna Brahma Vishaya. Okay. And so I can meditate on Saguna Brahma. Machittaha means meditate on Saguna Brahma and take any aspect of Ishvara. So aspect that is very dear to you. Okay. You can take compassion. Bhagavan is the most compassionate. Bhagavan is a karma phala data. Bhagavan is Sri Rama. Sri Rama is Ramaha Vigrahavan Dharmaha. He's an embodiment of Dharma. And I want to be dharmic. In fact, I am dharmic. Therefore, I want to meditate on Sri Rama. Sri Ramachandra Yanamaha. Sri Rama Yanamaha. Sri Rama Yanamaha. So I meditate on Sri Rama. So any attribute of Ishvara you take, you can take Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishwam Vishnur Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. So every word Vishwam. Okay. Vivida Pratyaya Gamyam. The one who pervades the universe. That Vishnu I am meditating on. When you meditate on Vishnu, then that all pervasiveness sticks to you. I, Atma, am all pervasive, like Vishnu is. Okay. So that is dhyana. Vishwam Vishnu Pashatkaro. Then same thing. Sri Mata, Sri Maharajni, Lalita Sahasranama. So Mata, the mother of this world. Sri Matre Namaha. Sri Matre Namaha. So that becomes my meditation. And so that compassion just flows into me. I meditate on Ishvara as an embodiment of compassion, as embodiment of Matrutvam. And so like that, these are all ways of meditating. And so Mahi Parameshware and then and then you have the other, which is Swarupa Dhyan. Okay, Swarupa. So the Swarupa of Atma, Swarupa of Srimata, Swarupa of Vishwaha, Swarupa of Vishnu, Swarupa of the Jiva, everything is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Correct? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Satchidananda. Okay? So, Satchidananda Rupoham, Ahamevaham Avyayam, Asangoham Asangoham, Asangoham Punah Punah. So there are some meditations which are called nididhyasanam now. Nididhyasanam. Because now there is no form that you are meditating on. You are meditating on the swarupa of the form, the truth, the reality of the form itself. Okay. And that is nididhyasanam. So from dhyanam we go to nididhyasanam. That is also called dhyanam. In Krishna does not separate the two. So we separate it because there is that difference on what we meditate on. And so machittaha means all these things. One who is focusing on myself. That is a literal translation. Okay. One whose one the meditator whose object is myself. That is a literal. Okay. So now so in Vedanta, there are two types of statements. Okay. So statements that one type of statement that reveals the nature of Atma. Okay. So Satchidananda Atma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. These statements reveal the nature of Atma, nature of Brahma, as Satyam, existence, Jnanam, consciousness, knowledge, Anantam, all pervasiveness, Ananda Swarupaha. So, like that, these words are all there. It reveals the nature of Atma. Who am I? When we ask the question, it reveals the nature of Atma. Then what happens? Knowing that is not enough. Then what about the world? What about Bhagavan? All this has to come. And therefore, a Mahavakyam, an equation also has to be given. Somebody has to say Tattvamasi. Hey, you are Satchidananda Atma, okay. But the whole world is also the same thing. Brahma, it's called, but that Brahma is not different from Atma. Brahma is identical to Atma. So Tattvamasi. Aham Brahma Asmi. Look at that. Asmi, Asi. They're all Asi in Sanskrit. Students know. Asi means Asi. Tvam Asi. You are. Tvam Asi. And then Aham Asmi. I am. So when somebody says I am what? Fill up the blanks. And Aham Asmi Brahma. I am Brahma. But this Brahma is not an object. Not like saying I am an engineer, I am a doctor, etc. No, not like that. And I am a mother, I am father. No, this is not a role. This my nature, Atma, is Brahma. Jagat Karanam. Brahma is me, I, Atma. That is the equation. So two kinds of statements. What are the two kinds of statements? One is statements that reveal to me the nature of Atma, like Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And the other is a statement of equality, equation, that which equates Atma with Brahma, equates Jiva with Ishvara. Jiva and Ishvara can never be identical. Jiva is small, Jiva sitting here, and Ishvara is the Jagat Karanam. How can those two be identical? Now, Shastram says they are essentially identical. Their essential nature, as defined by those statements called Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that essence, if they are to be identical, if Jiva and Ishvara have to be identical, we have to talk about the essential nature. Upadhis can never be identical. Wave is not the ocean. Wave cannot be the ocean. How can wave say, I am the ocean? That's a ridiculous statement. But then if the wave says, wait a minute, I am not a wave, I am water. I am pure 100%, I am salty water. The wave can say, ocean also is forced to say the same thing. I am also salty water. Ocean cannot say anything different. Ocean cannot say I am honey and all that. No way, it's not possible. Therefore, both of them have to say the same thing. Ishvara has to say, I am you. Jiva has to say, I am you. Okay. And that is the equality here. That is a Mahavakyam. So two types of Mahavakyams and are two types of Mahavakyam. And so here, Mai Parameshware, that essence which allows me to see the identity between me and Krishna, between me and Parameshwara. Okay. And if I don't see that essence, then the identity is not possible. Then Upadhi will be there. So then it is Saguna Brahma, Dhyanam, which is also important, which is very important. Initially, I need a form. I need a form to meditate upon, to do Dhyanam. So that is why you can see why the word meditation is now not an exact, not a good translation. In fact, a poor translation of Dhyana. See how much it's all loaded. One word, how much time we have to spend. Okay. And and so Swamiji reminds us here, Ishvara can say, I am you. Jiva can say, I am Ishvara. A guru, any wise person can say, anybody who knows can now say, I am Krishna. I am you. Krishna means somebody else, God. Okay, maybe you are God. But what about all these people out there? Yeah, I am in the form of every human being. And so in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, he says that. So Vedanam Samavedosmi, Adityanam Aham, Surya, etc. is going to say. And so how can Krishna be all that? How can he be all this? Earlier he said, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyaya. Correct? So I was the one who taught Vivaswan. And he can say statements like that because the essential nature of everybody is identical. And so in the form of somebody else, I taught somebody else. That is the way it is. And it is I who taught. And so that is the purport of this Machittaha. And then he's going to say another word, Mat Paraha. Yukta Asita Mat Paraha. Okay, we'll come to Yukta Asita later. Mat Paraha. Let's see Mat Paraha. Mat Paraha again. Paraha means one whose commitment is one who wants to accomplish me, one whose goal is me. Okay, Machittaha, you are focusing on me, that is fine, that I got it. Now, after focusing on Ishvara, then what's going to happen to me? Well, Mat Paraha, one who wants to accomplish me. Accomplish me means what? Accomplish God. Accomplish God means what? I must go to heaven and then see God. That is the accomplishment that we all know of. And there is nobody talks about any other accomplishment. And so he says, no, not that kind of accomplishment. Mat Paraha means one who wants to see, one who is committed to seeing that identity between Atma and Paramatma. In fact, Paramatma also has the word Atma in it. And so Atma is equal to Paramatma. That commitment the one has is called Mat Paraha. And so this one, Swamiji says, one who is committed to doing dhyana. So why are you doing meditation? If somebody says, he can say, no, doctor asked me to do dhyanam, it will lower my blood pressure. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. And but Krishna doesn't talk about blood pressure and all these things here. And stress and all that. So he doesn't say anything like that. So that meditation can be a technique. See, now I got an idea. Meditation is a technique. Dhyanam is a sadhanam. Dhyanam is a karma yoga amsha. Okay. So there is look at the differences there. So yeah, you can use a technique to calm yourself down. But then here dhyanam, here mat paraha. The objective of this dhyanam is what? To see that I am the whole. Right? To see I am the whole. Parameshwara and Jiva, there is no identity. So if Krishna knocks on your door and says, what are you doing? I'm meditating. You're meditating. Why are you meditating? Well, I want to see. I want to see myself in you. Oh, I see. Okay. Very interesting. Tell me more about it. So then you can chant a few shlokas here. And then you only said mat paraha, you only said mat chittaha. And so that is what I'm after now. So, so mat chittaha, mat paraha. Uh, and look at Shankaracharya. My God, you know what he says? For mat paraha, he says, he comments, kaschit ragi, stri chittaha. Okay. Some person is thinking about a woman. Shankara never says like this. He never uses this language. Very, very, very unusual for him to say these things. Okay. And the kaschit ragi stri chittaha. And so the person is thinking of a woman. But then, I mean, he's telling it for a different reason. Nato striyam paratvena grinnhati. But then that person does not think that the woman is the greatest. Why? Because the two of them go to the temple and do namaskar. That means both of them consider that there is Ishvara, there is Mahadeva. He says, Kim tarhi Rajanam Mahadevam va, he says. Because both of them consider the king to be greater, to be the greatest, Mahadeva to be the greatest. And so, therefore, here, this Mat Paraha means the greatest, the supreme, if I can use the word supreme, which is not, Puja Swamiji would not like us to use the word supreme. So, the one who is the ultimate, and that person, like this, Shankara is giving a commentary. Look at that. And so, so mat paraha means one who considers that goal, that accomplishment, that end to be Parameshvara, and that ultimate end, that paraha. And Swamiji reminds us here that mat paraha, when we say ultimate end, when we say anything that we achieve and we have achieved so far has always been in the realm of time. Something happens in time. Time is always given. I become somebody. I accomplish somebody. I get this degree. I get children. I get that. So many things are accomplished in time. But here, time itself is anityam. And here it is a swarupa of time itself. I am the one. I am the swarupa of time, kala. And kalosmi aham, later on, Krishna is going to say, and that aham as the abhinnam, Ishvara abhinnam aham. So that ultimate end, mat paraha, okay, is what is to be understood by this word mat paraha. So let's see here. So you can see how these words are all very loaded, and 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 it's good. It's good to study the Shastram, study Bhagavad Gita before actually doing Dhyana. Correct? We don't have to say, oh, I wish I'd done these things so many years ago, and they called me and they taught me, I forgot. All this we don't have to worry about. Because now that we are clear about what Dhyanam is, and we can learn it properly, and then it's nothing. It's not, as long as you think it's something big, then it becomes big. But Dhyanam is just sitting quietly in one place for some time, and anybody can do it. And let's do it properly. That's what Krishna is saying. Take these steps and then understand what the goal of meditation is and dhyanam is, and then it will do its job. And so no need to be uh, to take it exactly as what it is. Okay. So we are going to now translate the two shlokas, number 13 and number 14. Samam kaya shirogrivam onwards till mat paraha. Okay. Holding oneself firm without moving. Holding oneself firm without moving, comma. keeping the body, comma, head, comma, and neck in one straight line. Keeping the body, head, and neck in one straight line. Okay, comma, and then within brackets, as though, brackets close, looking at the tip of one's nose, looking at the tip of one's nose, as though. So then you can add within brackets for eye position, for eye position. That's just for locating the eye, because eye also can move in the socket, and so eye position. So look at the way you interpret it that way, then suddenly that word becomes is very sensible. Otherwise, nose becomes very important. You keep on focusing on the nose, focusing on the nose. You think of the nose. You should not be thinking of the nose. In fact, you get used to a particular position, a comfortable position of the eyeballs within the eyes. Okay. Looking at the tip of one's nose and not looking in all directions. And not looking in all directions. That completes shloka number 13. And the translation continues with the second shloka. Being the one whose mind is tranquil, so you can ask, what is this? I'm doing dhyanam in order to become calm. Now he is saying be calm and do dhyanam, right? It seems reverse. But so that shows how important karma yoga is and how powerful karma yoga is. Correct? Important and how effective it is. Okay, being the one whose mind is tranquil, comma, who is free from fear, comma, established in one's commitment, established in one's commitment to the life of a brahmachari. Comma, may that meditator sit. May that meditator sit. So I forgot to explain asita. So yukta and asita, right? So yuktaha. So yuktaha here means that position. Okay, that position with all these attributes, combined with all those attributes, is a yuktaha. And so asita means one. May that person sit. May the person sit. That's the idea. So as dhatu, asanam, all that comes from this asita. And Sanskrit students, asita is atmanepadi vidhilinga, prathama purusha ekvachanam. Okay, and Shankaracharya, when he explains asita, he says upavishet. Upavishati, we know upavishati means one who sits, and so upavishet. So he converts the atmanepadi to parasmepadi using a different word, and then he says same vidhiling he does. Okay, very interesting. This is a style that Shankaracharya uses periodically. Okay, so anyway, yukta asita matparaha. So here, may that meditator sit thinking of me. May that meditator sit thinking of me, comma, having me as the ultimate goal. Having me as the ultimate goal, comma, while withdrawing the mind from everything else. While withdrawing the mind from everything else. So holding oneself firm without moving, comma, keeping the body, head and neck in one straight line, comma, as though looking at the tip of one's nose for eye position and not looking in all directions, comma, being the one whose mind is tranquil, who is free from fear, established in one's commitment to the life of a brahmachari. May that meditator sit thinking of me, having me as the ultimate goal, comma, while withdrawing the mind from everything else. Manaha samyamya. Yeah, so Anvaya is also almost the same as the way Shloka is written. So make the note that this yukta asita is the verb. So manaha samyamya machittaha yuktaha. So there is the sthiraha, stitaha, etc. there. Matparaha you can bring in the forward. So machittaha, matparaha, yuktaha asita. Manaha samyamya asita. Like that you can conclude the Anvaya. You can look into that. Okay. So 14 and then next shloka. Vinjaneva sadatmana yogi neta manasa shantim nirvana paramam matsamstham adhigachati. Okay, good. So next shloka is going to talk about the phalam. What is the benefit of this dhyana? Okay. So that let's conclude today. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I have a question to ask you. Next month, our children of the families that we are supporting, they want to present a program to thank all the donors, all the sevaks also we want to thank, and all the teachers. There have been many tutors who've been doing online tutoring of these children. And so they have chosen 2 dates, November 20th, November 21st, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. And so I wanted to check with you, which day would be convenient for you. So it will be an online kind of presentation by children like you saw last year. And so is one day better than the other? So let me unmute yourself.